I just wanted to pop in and say hello. I know everyone is so busy with the holidays and shopping and everything, but I just wanted to share a couple of pointers with everyone. So hopefully you can hang out for a few minutes with me. And if not, you can always watch this as a replay. So one of the most common questions that we get asked in the group is about location. And if you scroll through all of the posts, you'll see people are always asking, do you know a great place here in Bali or in Hawaii or whatever? And I always find it very interesting. Some people will even say, gosh, I just want to find a place someplace. Well, if you think about that, it's a big world. And it helps to kind of narrow down what you're looking for and be very specific and intentional about the location that you would like to do your retreat at. So I'm just going to share a couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, when you're planning your retreat, think about the kind of vibe you want to create. Okay? Do you want it to be quiet? Do you want it to be more active? What kinds of activities do you want to share with your people? Because you're going to be very limited depending on what location you're in. So, for example, if you're doing a very specific themed retreat, you want to be very cognizant about what it is you're sharing and how that location can align with it. So for example, and this is going to be kind of obvious, but if you're doing a spiritual retreat, you might not want to do it right in the middle of the city of Chicago, right? You might want to do it at a sacred site so you can have ceremony and do all kinds of beautiful activities with your group, right? That's what makes it very experiential and special and unforgettable. You want to be able to do some things that the average person would not be able to do on their own. And that's really, really important. If someone's going away on a trip with you, they certainly don't want something they could duplicate on their own, because that's not going to make your trip very interesting, and it's going to make it harder to sell out. So when you think about creating a retreat that aligns with what you're teaching and you're sharing something really special, giving your people experiences that they couldn't get on their own, that's what's going to help make your retreat sell out. So obviously there's different things to consider. Do you want to do it at a retreat center, a boutique hotel, a villa? Do you want to do it on a yacht? There's different price ranges and locations to be in that serve up different kind of experiences. So obviously there are a lot of things to consider, but the most important thing I look for is alignment. And truly, alignment is everything, right? In life and in your retreats. So this is just a little piece of what I'd like you to be thinking about, so that when you are posting questions in the group and you're asking for feedback from the community and saying, okay, I'd love a place for my retreat, share a little about your retreat. What it is that you want to do. What is the takeaway from your retreat? What is the promise of the retreat? So by the end of the retreat, what do you want people to come away with? And can that location serve that up? That's the question you want to answer. Very, very, very important. I also wanted to share with all of you that I am doing a very, very special little class tomorrow. We have a special mini class where I'm going to be focusing only on location. So a couple of the things I'm going to cover is the number one question you have to ask to choose a magnetic location, okay? Because the one thing that's very upsetting for us is to hear that the folks in our community are canceling retreats. That just breaks our heart. Also, we'll be covering what are the worst places to run a retreat. And we don't want anyone to make mistakes in this way. I mean, if you're going to put money down on a retreat center or a hotel, we want you to sell out. So we really want to cover what are the worst places to run a retreat, at least in our experience. Also, how do you scope out a spot you've never been to? This is a really common question. A lot of people feel like they have to visit a place first. Obviously, it's nice if you can. That would be the best situation. But I know for me, most of the retreats I do, I would say 99.9%, I never go and visit because, first of all, it would be so time consuming and it would be very expensive. So I'm going to talk about how you do that. Also, we're going to talk about the difference between boutique hotels and retreat centers, villas and yachts, and which is best. And there's a reason for each one of those. So we're going to cover that. And also, how do you figure out if your hotel is a superstar or if it's an absolute dud? Because that is really, really important too. So I have a few tricks of the trade to help you out, and I want to share that with all of you. So I would love you to come join me tomorrow for my top tips for nabbing the perfect digs for your sold out retreat. I'm going to have Alish Struna on with me, and Alish runs our travel agency, Journeys of the Spirit, and he's fantastic. So he does all the management in our company of people's retreats, as well as retreat planning and booking. And so I'm very excited to have him be on the call with you. It's going to be great. It's going to be an hour and a half of learning, and then we'll probably do about 30 minutes of Q&A, but I'll stay on until all the questions are answered, so don't worry. I just want you to feel that if you come on, we're going to do our best to help you out. So the class is actually December 12th at 12 noon, so that's tomorrow, 12 noon New York time. So you're going to want to convert that for whatever time you guys are at. Now, if by some chance you can't make it and you're unable to join us, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take the class and I'm going to put it on a password protected page. And so you're more than welcome to watch the whole entire class and Q&A afterwards. So no worries about that. If you're wondering what the cost of the class is, it is $57 USD. So I'm also going to put, if you want to register, there we go. That is not what I wanted to put on there. That's really weird. Okay, let me try this again, everyone. I'm going to hide that, and technology, right? It's always crazy. Here we go. So Kathy says, hi, I'm a small resort owner going more towards wellness retreats as well as a retreat practitioner teacher. Sometimes I'm in the middle when others give workshops with me and I probably undersell myself as a teacher. Oh my God, Kathy, I'm so glad you said something about that because a lot of people do the same thing. It often amazes me how many of us don't really stand in our power for what we have to share, right? You've been around the block. You know your stuff. You have a lot to offer the world and a lot to share and a lot to teach, right? And I have a feeling that you have a really big heart. So you want to be able to express this, express yourself authentically, and not be afraid to do that. So I encourage you to step up. It's nice that you are a resort owner. And so obviously you're having people come to your place, but there's nothing wrong with you teaching also. And that's nice because then you're getting income in both ways, right? You're getting income from people who are coming and teaching and getting income from your own teaching, which is great. So I really encourage you to go for that. I think it's wonderful. I mean, how lucky are you that you even have your own place to do retreats at? So that's fantastic, Kathy. Thank you so much for mentioning that. So that's a really great question. Anyone else have any questions? I hope you're going to join me tomorrow. That would be lots of fun. I see we've got a few people hanging out with me. Say hi. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Just type in the Facebook box and say that you are around. Let's see. I think I see Brant here. I see Angie here and Kathy. So a few people are hanging out with me. So yeah, for me, I feel like if we could put an end to retreats being canceled, that would really make me happy. It would make me feel like we've done our job in educating our tribe and how to do a really amazing retreat. And obviously there are many aspects of that, but one of the more important aspects is the location. So we really want to be clear about that. Hi, Tracy. How are you, honey? Glad to see you here. Angie is saying, how do I set the price for my retreat? Well, pricing is based on hard costs, Angie. That's really important to make sure that you have a way of getting all those hard costs together. Like in our retreat blueprint course, we actually give our participants a special Excel sheet. And so it has all the line items and people can just fill all that in, but you don't want to forget any of your expenses. That's really important. Once you have all your hard costs, then you have a total. And then you add your net into that, which is what you personally want to make. Okay, so that's really important. Hi, Shalini, how are you? My roommate from the event I just went on in California. I love you. Okay, let's see. Any other questions while I'm here? I'm just going to be on for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to run. So you guys get to pick my brain. Another thing that I feel that's really important with retreat location planning is the size of the retreat. And that's something that we'll be talking about tomorrow. And sometimes you're creating like a small intimate retreat where you only want maybe 10 or 12 people, maybe 15 the max. And I find a lot of people will book that in a humongous hotel, like a 400-room hotel. And gosh, that loses the whole feeling and vibe of the event. And so this is why I want to have this conversation with you all tomorrow, because we want to make sure that we really choose a location that matches our intent. So if you do want to make a very small and intimate retreat, a lot of times people do process work and people cry and emote, and to imagine that in a large facility, it just doesn't work very well. So we really want to cover those locations where you can almost sequester your people, that they feel really safe and held and nurtured and loved. So that's really important. Pat is saying, I have had small retreats in a rented home. That's fantastic. If you can have great food and have some really transformational activities along with that, that would even make it more powerful. Again, the key is, Pat, even if you are doing your retreat in a home, there's so many retreats out there right now. We have to differentiate ourselves and we have to be like the cream floating to the top. So it's not only the home itself, but creating something that is really special. That's what's going to make a retreat sell out. So it doesn't sound exactly like everything out there now. We want to be different, Okay. Angie says, how important is that there are no other guests there? Should I find something I should book out? See, you are answering this. Yeah, Angie, a smaller facility would be better. You don't have to have the whole entire place, but you do want to have a good part of it if you can. It just makes it more intimate. That's what I like. I tend to choose very small places, and I'm going to tell you why tomorrow. Brant is saying location is so important, you guys. This class is a don't miss for sure. Thank you, Brant. We love our Brant, who is our amazing copywriter in our Retreat Blueprint program, always helping people write really fantastic retreat pages. So thank you, Brant. Okay, well, I'm going to pop off right now. I'm going to put the link if you guys want to register for tomorrow's class in the box once this is finished. And I would love to see all of you there. And if you have any questions, like if you didn't come on this little conversation live, just post below and I'm happy to ask anything. If you're trying to figure out if this little class is for you, definitely ask. It's $57 US dollars, and it is an hour-and-a-half class, and it is 30 minutes of Q&A. But if you guys have more Q&A, I will stay on the call until everyone has been answered. So I am happy to do that. Okay, everybody, I hope I see you tomorrow, December 12th at 12 noon. Okay, and the class is Sheri's top tips for nabbing the perfect dates for your sold out retreat. And I would love to see you there. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being part of the community. We love you, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.